What's up guys, it's the Demon back with another Escape from Tarkov video. Welcome to the first episode of Directions with Demon, and today is the first iteration of my map-specific money-making guides. So in this guide, I'm going to show you guys the pathing that I typically take in a random spawn on a specific map, and I go over other players' pathing and the areas that I typically like to play towards and the pathing that I take in order to make the most money in a raid. So a lot of people have been dropping comments on my other money making guides saying that they die or it's not possible to do the money making method that I'm showing. But what I'm going to show you here is actually what I like to do on the map, where I like to go and where the loot is that I typically go for, and the main choke points that I worry about when it comes to PvP. So let's start with customs. We're going to jump into the video. If this helps you out and you want to see more like this one, drop me a sub, drop me a like. If you have any questions, you can leave me a comment. I also stream on Twitch, and the link is in the description, and the link to my Discord server is there too. You can get any information about any of my videos. You can even talk to me yourself. So let's get right into it, starting with customs.
Bitch, get off of me, I'm fucking deep in Tennessee with my brothers from the 3. We quick to click and break the peace. No respect for what they.
Okay, so we spawned into the raid. First thing that I obviously like to do is take an ibuprofen or a painkiller, Vaseline, whatever it may be, and then I check the time of the raid always. So I double tap O and I check the time. Custom raids are 45 minutes, so we are on time. Because this is an offline raid, I'm obviously going to spawn in time. Now from this spawn here, I'm going to put a map in the top left so you know where I am at all times in the video. But at this spawn here, you basically have another player spawn over there on the other side of the hill, and then you have another spawn which is down by the ZB extract, which is over here to the left. So what I usually like to do is I have two choices here. I can either go and hit the stash over there and then try to kill this player and eventually make my way over to dorms, but if I am just strictly trying to make money, I'm not going to typically be going to dorms because there's a lot of PvP there, and especially with this spawn I'm probably going to be late. So I usually try to head this way. So by the time you're here, they have either pushed up, the person that spawns here is either pushed up here. There's another person that spawns over by old gas station. They might have been pushed down there a little bit by this point. But I try to usually go to this building here. So this is a newer building. It spawns a couple jackets. There's a few computers in there. You can check the stash here if you need to, you know, make a little bit of extra money. There can be good loot in the stashes. The stashes make a lot of cash on customs. But I go into this building. Up here, 2 jackets, a box there. You can find random, like, miscellaneous computer loot, like on these tables here. But after I've looted this building, grenade box there, ammo spawns on top of this. I usually head this way. So either way, whatever way you go, like, you're either gonna get into PvP around dorms, or you're gonna get into PvP around skeleton building or the mega, whatever you like to call it. But I'll typically push around this way. Now with customs, if they're newer players and they don't really push out of spawn much, you could end up with someone over here as you push down this train track, or somebody in front of you. And that's the guy that spawns at old gas station. It's just basically if they're late in their spawn, or if they push out of spawn late, then you're gonna end up running into them around this point. Being on the train tracks isn't exactly advisable, but I mean, as long as you try to stay close to the fence, you can get some sneaky positioning on people. It's better than running around this way and going through like the open. There's also a lot of scavs that spawn on the other side here, so if you end up getting, you know, in a fight with those scavs, players hear it, and then you're kind of screwed. So now at this point, you're at a crossroads. You either go left and go inside to the mega, or you go and turn on the power. I'm gonna just turn on the power because that's usually what I like to do here. But definitely be careful around this area, just because the convergence point of the guy that spawns here and then the guy that spawns over on that side near ZB, they might converge here. There's a third spawn there as well, so you might get into like some fights around this building. But basically, I fight to turn on the power. Once the power's on, if I've won this fight or whatever it may be, I will usually check the back of this car. This blue car spawns the Ollie logistics key, so it usually spawns right there, or it spawns right there. The reason I check for that key, I'm not sure right now in the wipe what it's worth, but it used to be worth like 300k back early wipe. Especially early wipe, you want to be checking that car every single time, but even late wipe, I think it's worth like 50k at the moment. I can check another time, but I always check for that key. Oh, I totally forgot. So there's a building over on the other side. I'll mark it on my it's the USEC building. So I have a USEC key, which is quite expensive, but it can definitely get you a lot of good loot. Basically, I'll loot USEC as well before I go there and then hit the power. My bad, I forgot about that. But if you hit loot USEC, there's also a roller on the wrist of the mannequin that's in the back office of there. And yeah. So then I'll typically head into Skeleton. Watch out for anybody that's sniping in that building where you just turned on the power. You gotta watch out for them, and also watch out for Roshala. Roshala is known to like push out over here. Some people, they like to go all the way around this way and come out from this side, but I just find if Roshala's pushed out and all his goons are like where I am right now, it's a hard fight to fight them, and when you're wide open, they'll like shoot you through tiny cracks like this, and like it's just difficult. So I rather just be mindful of the person that's sniping there. If there is somebody sniping there and I come into Skeleton like inside, and then if you're inside, you can fight them while they're outside, or they usually spawn here, which I see most often. And if you fight them in here, it's probably the easier spawn to kill them in. But I like to go check this back room here. So med spawn back here. Find an IFAC, there's a med box, there's a bunch of cases here, there's a food box here, 2 jackets. And then if there's no one here, and Roshala's not here, I usually just forget about Skeleton. It's just the place that player scavs like to go, and PMCs like to go. So if I'm like typically trying to just make money, I'll avoid it. This is also a PvP area here, which is called Crack House, and coming into Crack House, definitely check your corners, be careful, make sure that there's nobody in here. The way that it's best to tell, no matter what side you're coming from, if you're gonna loot the Crack House, if somebody's in here, is so this door spawns open, and then this door and this door spawns closed. So if you come out, let's say from over here, and you see that this upstairs door is open, there's probably somebody in there, and it's not worth pushing, because it's just not worth pushing for the intelligence. But if that door is closed and this door is open, it's probably unlooted. You can also quickly check the med box when you come in the front door, or just, you know, stop moving and just wait for 2 seconds, see if you hear somebody. But if the med box isn't looted, it's maybe not looted. But regardless, be careful when you're coming in here. Also, if you see this door open, somebody has probably looted intelligence, and you might just want to get out. But if all is well, intelligence spawns on this shelf, this shelf, this shelf, this shelf, this shelf. You can find some random ammo, SMB, PS. And you can also find intelligence there. But I'll try to loot this building if I can. In the crackhead area, there's like hemostats, meds, CMSs. You can find a stim usually right there. Yeah, there you go. Augmentin sells for like 20k on the flea market. Pick those up, and then I'll usually just head out here. Watch out for elbow, because people will spawn an elbow. Now, if you did spawn over where I spawned and you've made your way over here, like I said, you always got to be careful for slow players, but their pathing will typically lead them through this hole in the fence. So be careful here, because this is a main choke point. People will either sit on elbow and watch the buildings, or be looking for Roshala, or they'll just come through the elbow here. You can also jump on this and check if anybody's over there. Be careful though, because you skyline pretty bad when you hop up there. People will see you, so just hop up quick, check that. Now at this point of the raid, you assume that most people have crossed over, so if you have gotten in a fight here, you should be pretty good to cross over. These 2 stashes are usually hit pretty early. There's 2 stashes right under that pipe, and then under the next one. But I'll try to hit as many stashes as I can. I might actually make a guide on all the stashes, but there's so many of them on YouTube. I'm trying to do something a little bit different and just show you guys like kind of my thought process when I go through raids. Once I cross over to this side, I don't bother checking Big Red if I spawned over there, but if I do spawn on this side, then I will fight around Big Red first. And if you can win the fight around Big Red, and you typically know that there's no more players on this side. So that's what I'm talking about if you spawn over at Trailer Park. So basically that's my pathing through the map if I'm trying to make money. I mean, I might have gotten in a PvP fight over in Skeleton. I might have gotten a PvP fight at the fence. Maybe I got in one really early over by ZB. But those are the main choke points if you're taking this pathing to get to Trailer Park to the other side in order to extract. So I'm not going to run through the whole map, but the other spawn is typically like this side. You spawn here, or you spawn crossroads. You can also spawn in the alley here, like in the bushes. If I spawn there, mainly my like first plan of action on this side of the map is to so you know someone spawns at Trailer Park. So if I spawn at Trailer Park, I'll run this way, and then I will look for the guy that spawned typically down there. If I spawn crossroads, I'll typically push through storage and try to kill, once again, this guy down here. This spawn is kind of like the bad spawn, but if you know how to play it, it's alright. So basically, like, if you spawn here in the middle, you'll spawn like right here pretty much, maybe a little bit further down. I typically like to go and I'll sit here and I'll wait for whoever spawned at Trailer Park to run. And then a lot of people hop on this blue thing and then hop over. I'll wait for them and try to be a little sneaky, get the quick kill on them, and then if I can kill them, then I just have to worry about the guy that spawned over there and the guy that spawned over on the train. So like 3 spawns here, Trailer Park, the one in the middle, and then the one over back at Crossroads, and then there's another spawn on the other side, which is like by the water, by the land bridge. But if I spawn at that land bridge spawn, I'll typically just run to dorms and fight in dorms, as well as on the other side, if you spawn up by the antenna where the stash is, I'll typically just go to the right, go through the hole in the fence, past the camp, and go to dorms anyways. So that basically covers all the spawns. The main loot areas that you have to loot, so obviously other players, customs isn't a very difficult map because a lot of players, you either run into a really geared player or like a level 30 that's running mediocre gear. So that's basically the only things you'll have to worry about in terms of PvP. The rest are just like kids with SKSs using PS ammo, so it's nothing really that difficult in order to do. The loot is kind of scattered. Basically the main loot areas, Big Red, this is also a big fight area. Dorms, obviously, also a massive fight area, probably the biggest PvP area in the map. On the other side you have Skeleton, you have Crack House, which I showed you guys, you have Old Gas Station where a lot of loot spawns on the table, and also out behind it there's a stash and the Giving Tree, which can spawn any loot in the game. But yeah, if you guys I might need to structure these videos a little bit better so that you guys get a better understanding with a lot more editing. But in terms of just like an early, like just me going over my thoughts when I play customs, if you take this into account, it might help you out and maybe help you survive a few more raids. But basically, like, learning the spawns and learning the pathing of players is something that you should constantly be thinking about when you're playing Tarkov. If you can learn all these kinds of things for every map, you'll be a PvP Chad in like no time. Yeah, so I'll do these for more maps. I'm gonna do them for all the maps in the game, but I'm gonna do them with a little bit more detail and more editing and just like spend a little bit more time on it. If you guys want to see more videos like that, shoot me a follow, shoot me a sub, go check out my Discord. I stream on Twitch. I also talk about like my thoughts and stuff while I play Twitch in live raids. So yeah, let me know what you think of the video. I appreciate it. Have a good one.